We're talking dynamic pricing today. And for me, dynamic pricing, I've got a fly buzzing around here. And it's just, dynamic pricing comes in two different forms for me. It might not do for everybody else. I don't know how everybody else, what they consider dynamic pricing, but dynamic pricing comes in twofold for me. One, it's store occupancy, how full your store is. And we're going to dive into both these. And number two is the location of the unit. So I don't know whether other people think of dynamic pricing like this, but this is what I do. And by the way, if you are not doing dynamic pricing, you are leaving money on the table. And the reason I say this is because I was that person who didn't do dynamic pricing before. I didn't increase my prices depending on occupancy. I didn't increase my prices depending on the location they were in the facility. Oh, no. And I was leaving money on the table. I've said many, many times that I've increased my revenue over 300% since I went on this journey of understanding, learning, educating myself at Beverley. At Beverley, long story short, we was taking £55,000 a year and we was 100% full. Now, my friends, we are taking £192,000 a year and we're 87% full. Incredible. Over 300% extra revenue. It goes straight to that bottom line, baby. And it's all that the only difference is education. And I'm not saying it's all down to dynamic pricing. A lot of it is, but a lot of it is down to a minimum insurance per unit size. And also it is down to price increases as well, revenue management. And so there's three things: insurance, minimum insurance per unit, revenue management, and also dynamic pricing. So we're going to hit on dynamic pricing. In fact, I'm going to make a note here, minimum insurance, because I need to talk about that. I want to tell everybody what I do in my newsletter as well. So don't forget, by the way, we've got today has been a day when on Mondays, I write content. So I'm recording this on Monday. On Mondays, I write content for the rest of the week for my newsletter. I've sat in a coffee shop all afternoon and I have wrote some amazing. Yes, I'm going to say, I'm genuinely really, really proud of the content that's going to come out this week. The self-storage tips. They are brilliant. Well, brilliant for me. Anyway, I really, really enjoy doing it. I just sit there, have a cup of coffee, have a Diet Coke, have a cup of tea, and watch the world go by. It was wonderful. I genuinely love it. So please subscribe, mrselfstorage.com. Open it. Let me know what you think. If you don't like it, unsubscribe. Right, so dynamic pricing. I've made some notes here. Oh, I'm getting professional. If you aren't pricing your units based on demand, then you are leaving money on the table. Think the airline industry. What do they do? The fuller the plane gets, the more expensive the tickets. So one example, I'm going to say this very, very quietly because I am a little bit embarrassed by how much I spent to go on holiday. There is this amazing, amazing place I went in Greece and we paid £8,800 for a week for 4 people. Crazy. But we booked it a week before we went. And I'm not joking. It was without doubt it was the most enjoyable hotel we stayed at, because I've stayed at some wonderful hotels in Vegas, in Dubai, etc. But for me, it was the most brilliant stay for the kids. There was everything, absolutely everything. And it was awesome. Now, that same holiday, I can book for the same time, exact same week, the following next year for £6,000, £6,073 for 10 days. 10 days. So not 7 days. And it's, what is it, 33% cheaper? Oh, so again, perfect example of dynamic prices in place. So that's exactly how we should behave in storage. If we are 90% full on a certain unit size, you should increase your prices. If we have loads of units available, we can lower the price or even do an offer. Dynamic pricing doesn't just end there. I put, oh, no. Sorry, I feel like I'm on stage or something. I've had loads of coffee, sorry. Here's some other ways we can use dynamic pricing. Downstairs units should be cheaper. Downstairs units should be cheaper than upstairs units. That's the wrong way around. Downstairs units should be more expensive than upstairs units. Why? Because it's more bloody convenient. You need a ground floor and a first floor price. I used to call it premium and standard. I don't know if I still do. Anyway, there's a reason why I did, or the reason why there's a reason. I change my mind all the time. Right. So downstairs should be more expensive. Units closer to the lift should be more expensive than units further away from the lift. Why? Because it's easier. If you're first floor and you're right next to the lift, then it's dead simple for you. If you're the back back of a building, you should be paying the standard price. If you're closer to the lift, hey, that's VIP. That's a VIP unit. And when you want to add on a couple of quid, why not? Honestly, I used to think, it's only a couple of quid. Well, it can't make a big difference. It makes a huge difference at the end of the year. It's a massive difference. Units closer to the door should be more expensive than units back of a building. Why? Because people pay extra for convenience, saving time. So if your unit's at the front of a building, hey, dynamic pricing, we need to make sure they're more expensive. And yes, it can be a little bit confusing when we talk. We only display one price. We aren't displaying, two prices. We display first floor and ground floor. We don't display then VIP units or whatever, but then we let and inform the customers know, hey, you know what? If you don't want that unit at the back, you can pay a couple of quid extra. And so, yes, it can be tricky how you convey that to the customer, but with a little bit of practice and training, everybody can do it. And so that's what we do there. Remember, not all 50 square foot units are equal. People will pay for convenience and saving time. So, my friends, that is it. I'm going to record some more podcasts about dynamic pricing. A quick one today. Yes, that's what it should be. 5 minutes ago. Well, it's over 5 minutes. Anyway, I love you. I appreciate you. Dynamic pricing over and done. Don't forget to subscribe to MrSelfStorage.com. I would massively appreciate it because I've been doing it since February the 1st, and I can honestly say, if nobody subscribed, would I still do it? No, obviously. But it's because I planned on selling advertising, making money from it. Obviously, I want to make money from it. I'm a capitalist. I want to make money. Of course I do. But I'm not even asked. It's like the podcast. People get in touch. I've got somebody who's waiting for an invoice just to put a podcast sponsorship on. I haven't done it. Because why? Because even if I don't make a cent from this podcast ever, and by the way, it costs money. It costs money not having. So it costs a lot of money to do this podcast. And even if I didn't make any money from it whatsoever, had any sponsors, I'd still do it. Exactly the same as a newsletter as well. I just know that I just love researching and creating content. So please go out there and subscribe to my newsletter, MrSelfStorage.com. It would be awesome. And by the way, do you know what? I never asked for this. If you're still here right now, can you leave a review? Because in the charts for self-storage, the more reviews we get, the higher people will see the podcast. The more people will see it, I don't know, the better. It's just an ego thing. The more downloads I get, so I get a bigger ego. That's all. So help give me a bigger ego, please. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.